Hello everyone. It's 11:59 p.m. on Monday, January 14th. Fresh off of the Duke Syracuse game. And, I will talk about the Florida State game and then I'll talk about the Syracuse game. I was, thought I was going to be excited to do this, and I was very excited after the Florida State game, obviously. And then, I was like, oh, I was going to do it Sunday. And I was like, I'll just wait for the Syracuse game. It's a day difference, so it makes sense to just wait to have both games to talk about. The reason why I wanted to do that was I really wanted to see how Cam Reddish continued to build off of that confidence, and I just wanted to see how they did against the zone and see if there was any fatigue or anything like that from that tough game in Florida State. And, well, if that wasn't the biggest 180 from Saturday, what I will say about the Florida State game was it was a pretty crazy game. It was tough for anyone to find rhythm, I thought. I mean, RJ Barrett just kind of forced everything, and it worked. What I mean by that was, like, he was just taking everything and carrying the team in a way. It wasn't like he was taking what the defense was giving him. He was taking everything because that was the only choice that he had. And Zion got hurt early, got poked in the eye really bad. It leveled him off his feet. And it wasn't even a foul call. And it led to a three-pointer. So I thought that was bullshit. But I guess things get missed sometimes. He also gets judged differently, and I know people think LeBron flops and stuff, but now that you have Zion Williamson on Duke, you kind of understand why he flops. It's because he's so big that when he gets punched in the face, he can take a punch directly in the face and not be, look like as if you punched, I don't know, Steph Curry in the face. It would break his head off his neck. You punch LeBron in his face, and nothing happens. So maybe that has something to do with why he flops. I don't know, because Zion just gets hacked all the time. He draws contact almost every play that he drives, and I just saw the Tre Jones injury again. It's on my TV, and it sucks. But yeah, he draws a lot of contact that I feel like doesn't get called. And people say, oh, he still shoots a lot of free throws. Yeah, when you drive a lot and when you have the ball a lot and when you score a lot, you get fouled more. So shut up. And and once he got hurt, I was just like, wow, Zion would get hurt on a tough away game where it's a big team and a lot of athleticism and a lot of skill. Experience too. Phil Kofer, he's a monster. And they had a guy that was like 7'4", and they had some guys who had impossible names to pronounce, which I feel like growing up, Duke has always had a tough time with Florida State because they've just always had like a couple gigantic players who just caused trouble on the boards and stuff. So after he went out, it was pretty much RJ's show in a way that I feel like RJ was just kind of carrying the team. And then every time things get kind of weird, Cam Reddish hit a big shot. Cam Reddish hit another big shot. And it was just like coming off screens and finding them in the corner or pulling up at the top right wing. And I was just like, he's hitting these big shots and kind of carrying the load. He's not Zion, but he's filling that void pretty good, better than anybody else. So I was excited to watch that, and then nobody else really did that great. I just feel like Tre Jones was poised and controlled the game the best he could, but Javin, Marquise, Javin did nothing. He played 16 minutes, had 0.0 rebounds. What are you doing? How do you do that? I feel like I could have got 2 rebounds. And other than that, I mean, Tre Jones didn't have his best game at Florida State. No complaints, though. And it just came down to RJ and Cam Reddish. Obviously, the last play call was amazing. Perfect call. You know, Duke was only down by 1, so you really have to watch the cutters, which Coach K knew. If anybody gets a wide open cut to the basket, they can end the game just because they're only down by 1. So that made a big worry for Florida State, and they completely forgot about Cam Reddish with the cuts and the screens and everything. So that happened, and then he called it, and I was just like, oh my God, there's no one within 60 feet of him, it looked like. Please don't miss. I did not want that for him because he played good, but if you remember, he dribbled it off his foot to turn it over. Then he fouled a jump shooter to put him on the free throw line on a three-pointer. Unless you're Zion Williamson, you shouldn't leave your feet on a pump fake on a three-pointer at all, because odds are you're not going to be able to jump up and block it. So if somebody pump fakes or even shoots a three, put your hands up and contest it. Don't jump sky high directly into him. And O'Connell did it too. And I was just like, I hope they work on that, because that was bonehead. But it happens. It happens in the NBA, everything. So that and the turnover combined, and then drawing this play up for him, I was just super worried that he was going to just airball it or brick it. But when he shot it, it looked really good. And the confidence that he had throughout the game helped him shoot that. And he knocked it down and they won. Super excited. And I just felt like, coming off of that game, I felt like that's a lot of good momentum, a lot of positive momentum. Tough road win. Buzzer beater, which was huge. Undefeated in conference still. Going home to play Syracuse. And then most importantly, it seemed like RJ and Zion carrying the team lately is what it feels like. Tre Jones is probably the most important player. I'll get to that later. The game control, the defense, the assist to turnover ratio. We've been saying that. Over here, we've been saying that, and it's nothing new. And we've been saying look at the championship teams, at the caliber of point guard that they had. The caliber of the point guard on every championship team is A+. So it's no surprise that if he is A+ point guard, the chances are much higher getting to the championship. So it was good to see Cam Reddish get back on track, was my point. I was very happy about that. And fast forward to Monday, tonight, at home against Syracuse, 14-point favorite, I think. And most people were saying, like, this is a tune-up game, going to play Virginia. First of all, I hate when Duke plays Syracuse. It's that bullshit zone. It's janky. It's low scoring. Tonight it was not low scoring, but usually. It's hard. Like, it just seems like Duke has never seen that defense before. And it's just a bullshit game. They just pass around the three-point line, pass around, back and forth, shot clock runs down. They never throw it in the middle most of the time. And when they do, the defense collapses, and the guy in the middle either does something or kicks it out to a shooter. Or what you should do is, if you're the point guard or a guy outside, you have to move around. You have to find the holes in the zone, just like in the NFL. The receivers find holes in zone coverage. That's why if you have a good quarterback and good receivers, like the Patriots did against the Chargers zone defense this week, you can torch the shit out of them because there's holes in the zone. It's different in basketball, but it's still the same principle. That's why you have to get in the middle of the zone and break the zone down and then make a play. We can't just pass it around in circles all the time outside of the three-point line and then let Jack White shoot 12 threes and not make a single shot. And the whole problem with this is if you are going to break the zone down and kick it out to shooters, Cam Reddish's confidence has been built up. This game would have been perfect for him, making plays, knocking down shots. That's what he did for, again, the Florida State game. So I was hoping to see that in this game and see that it was better at Duke, home court and things like that. So that didn't happen because he had flu-like symptoms, which is the dumbest, most generic, like, I guess he might have puked or something, or I don't know. I mean, is it flu-like symptoms, or did he have the flu, or did he puke, or was he hungover? In the NBA, flu-like symptoms means they drank too much the night before and they don't feel good. That's what it means in the NBA. So, I don't know. Anyways, so he's out to start, and you're just kind of like, well, damn. Zion was out with the eye poke. We fought through that. Cam Reddish builds up confidence. Go back to Cameron and see what that does for him. Because if he drops 25 in this game, well, now we're going to Virginia next week. Or is that at Duke? Whatever, we're playing Virginia next week. Cam's looking good. Tre's looking good. Zion's looking good. RJ's looking good. And you're feeling good about it. Now I feel the complete opposite of good about it. Cam's already out, so okay. Get out to a good start. Tre Jones, 4 steals, up by 10, just whooping their ass, getting out in transition. And then all of a sudden he dives headfirst into a guy, and it just looks like he jams his entire body. I don't know. It did not look good, and he started crying, and it was probably less pain. It was probably more of fear of the unknown. Did I just shatter my collarbone? Did I just break my neck? Did my shoulder just dislodge and slide down to where my elbow is? So he finally gets up and walks off, and it's just like, well, reality's setting in. Everybody's starting to talk about Tre Jones. National media is starting to recognize him as one of the best or the best point guard in the NCAA, and he's a freshman. And he just got really hurt. And Cam's out with flu-like symptoms. Not the flu, but flu-like symptoms. So you're down your most important player, arguably. Zion is extremely important. But he's not the glue guy. He's the most talented. And Tre Jones, what makes it all come together. He's kind of the voice. He's getting to be the voice more and more. He's the defensive first line of defense. He's the energy. He's the floor general. So, he got hurt. And we'll continue on this sad train in a minute. But as I was reading, it seems to be an AC joint separation. So, let me just hit the mic real quick. AC joint separation. So, Jones will be out indefinitely. And then if this makes you feel any more up in the air about it, or cloudy about it, there's a wide range of recovery time, with recovery time taking anywhere from a few days to 12 weeks, depending on the severity. What does that even mean? A few days to 12 weeks. I don't get that. It's an AC joint separation. It says depending on the severity. What does that even mean? How can does that mean other structural damage? Because I feel like an AC joint separation is separated. It's not. So I don't know. Maybe there's other structural stuff that needs to be looked at. Maybe it depends. But it doesn't sound good. It does not sound like he's going to come back. Not this week for sure. Maybe not next week, I don't think. Maybe not the next week. So now are we looking at mid-February? Are we looking at March? Is he going to even be back for the UNC game or games? What about the ACC tournament? And I don't know. It could be better than that, but you're just going to have to see and monitor it because you know how Duke is with their injuries. I mean, shit. We just had an eye injury, a flu-like symptom injury, and now this. Kyrie was out an entire year with a toenail, with a hanging nail on his toe. So, who knows? It'll be interesting to monitor, but it was pretty much worst case scenario as far as this game today. And then being down two starters and still fighting through, and then Zion missed one free throw, which sends it into overtime, plus the bullshit full court shot that dumbass made. That made me super happy. And Zion misses a free throw, sends it into overtime. Overtime just completely trash. Never did Zion even touch the ball other than an offensive rebound. At least O'Connell was trying to break in the zone and make plays, but the problem is once he got in the middle of the zone, like he would drive in between two people and then get in the middle of the zone and then just be like, what do I do? That's where Tre Jones was going to be the key. That and transition, so they can't even get the zone set up. Oh, and he gets stops because he's the best defender on the team or in the nation. So he gets stops, gets out in transition, doesn't let them set up the zone. Completely different game. And he's the best decision maker on the team, so completely different game, and you saw that the first 6 minutes. Not to mention Tyus Battle and that other guy. They were just Tyus Battle. Have you been at Syracuse 12 years or 10 years or 13 years? You've been there a long ass time. And he had a game. And he's had plenty of games against Duke. About 36 games because he's been there 12 years. Or 14 years. Anyways, that other guy, he did good too. And they were just hitting crazy shots, step back shots, shots that I know they don't make when they go play fucking Georgia Tech next week. They're not going to make those shots. They're going to get beat. And you're going to be like, how'd that team... Wait, matter of fact, hold on a second. The reason why I say hold on is because I wanted to see if Florida State won today. Well, so yeah. Florida State puts up that crazy game against Duke. Then they travel to Pittsburgh. Shout out Jeff Capel. And they get beat 75-62. So now that win that Duke had, it doesn't look as impressive, which it is. And anybody that watched the game and knows the details, they know how impressive it was. But as I was saying with the Syracuse game, people who look at this on paper, they're going to be like, Duke lost at home to Syracuse. What the fuck? How did that happen? Duke at home against Syracuse, unranked, and they've lost some pretty bad games. How'd they do that? It looks really bad on paper, and anybody that knows the details knows how tough a game it was. Still, in my opinion, no excuses. I don't think they should have lost that game. I think they should have won that game, especially at home. And it just kind of sucks, and it pisses me off, and it makes me not look forward to Saturday against Virginia. I was looking forward to it, and now I'm just kind of worried. And, I mean, it'll be a good game regardless. I think it's at Duke, Saturday at 6 p.m., so that'll be at Cameron Indoor. I think Duke's overall talent and athleticism can still contend and make it a good game. It'll be low scoring because of Virginia's defense. But, I mean, Zion can still put up 30 points just because nobody can stop him. And it can still be a good game. But I think it's a different, easier, very winnable game if Tre Jones is healthy, which he's not. So that sucks. And then, like I said, when is he going to come back? Is that going to mess with the chemistry of the team? Is RJ going to be used to running point by then? Is Tre coming back going to cause issues? Is there going to be a chemistry issue? Are they going to be behind on where they should be? It just sucks. So I hope he gets back as soon as possible. I don't know if Jack White and Bolden or Javin or whoever, especially Jack White. Jack White, I'm talking about you. I don't know if he was fatigued or what, but that was an awful performance tonight. It felt like all we had out there was RJ and Zion. That was it. And Zion didn't even touch the ball in overtime. Hardly. And that, I don't know. I thought I was going to have a lot more fun talking about this. I was going to talk all about the Cam Reddish, all about the team doing better, and then this loss, pretty sad. And then after the game, a couple things. After the game, the ESPN guy gets on there and says, I think Duke was just overlooking Syracuse. They're looking forward to next weekend too much. That's what I'm talking about. That's so stupid. It's a guy who didn't watch the game, who doesn't know the details of the game, and he says some dumbass shit like that. Like it wasn't two starters out, and just the guys on Syracuse had a crazy night, and it was just all around bad matchup when you factor in the zone and losing your floor general against that zone. So that I got a good laugh out of that. I don't know. Where do we go from here? Got to go play Virginia. The word on Tre Jones is out indefinitely. Duke does their injuries where you're not going to return to action until you are 300% healthy. So you have to see the severity of that. And Goldbar's not ready to take his spot. He's not ready to fill in. He's not ready to fill half the void. I like him a lot, but he's not ready. O'Connell I feel like he's a good player, but he doesn't add anything to the Tre Jones void. There's no one on that team that can bring the package that he brings offensively and defensively. So that's a huge problem. The zone defense, watching against Duke play against the zone, was annoying. And like I said, I'm not going to be too repetitive. This sounds repetitive. It's because we didn't have Tre Jones. He could have got everyone involved. And it's also because we don't have enough people to knock down wide open shots. O'Connell was doing good with it. Cam Reddish was out. He was supposed to be a big one for that. That's one thing you can get is wide open threes in the zone. I'm looking at the stats, and Delorier, 3 points, 2 rebounds. He only played 11 minutes. Jack White played 42 minutes. 0 points, 0 for 10 shooting, 6 rebounds. RJ Barrett, 23 points, 16 rebounds, 9 assists. He almost had a triple-double. Damn it. 8 for 30 shooting, 4 for 17 from 3. The fact that he shot 30 times and Zion shot 20, it kind of pisses me off. 17 of Barrett's shots were threes. 5 of Zion's shots were threes. Zion was working hard as hell to get easy buckets and fouls, and he just didn't get to touch the ball enough. They would just pass it around the 3-point line and then jack up some dumb shit. Zion needed the ball, and he was making stuff happen. That's why they went to overtime in the first place. But again, with the limited players that they had, I don't necessarily blame RJ for taking that many shots. But I kind of blame the coaching staff. I don't know what they were saying. I don't know what they were telling them to do. But the awareness in overtime and the awareness to not get Zion the ball and the awareness, I guess their whole game plan was Tre attacking the zone if they did get in half-court offense. And then Syracuse was making so much dumbass shit shots from fadeaways, falls, and fouls and stuff. It was hard to get in transition. And then how fatigued they were because how limited they are. Do they really want to run the floor like that? I think the only one who had energy was Zion, and I don't know how he had energy because he was working harder than anyone else on the floor. I think it's because he's an alien, but that's just my guess. And then you had Bolden with 12 points. He had 11 rebounds, 4 for 6, so he did his job. O'Connell with 16 points, 4 for 8 from 3. Like I was saying, he did what he did. He had a bad turnover in overtime, but he did what he needed to do, and we really needed Barish to put up Barish. I'm such an idiot. It is too late. We needed Cam Reddish to do the same thing, if not more, building off of that confidence from the other night. But he was out, so I'm sure they didn't anticipate Tre Jones getting hurt. The Duke injury luck, man. Fuck it. Fuck that luck. Fuck the Duke injury bug or it's just annoying. One player can't carry a team. It has to be a team. We saw it with Bagley. Bagley could do a lot of things last year, but he couldn't single-handedly win every game. They needed Carter. They needed Allen. And injuries happen as well. I mean, it's part of the game, so it just happens. I don't know what else to say. Barrett and Williamson playing 45 minutes. That is insane. He was just riding the hell out of White, Barrett, and Williamson, and Bolden. O'Connell got some big minutes too. I don't know. We just have to wait to see the severity of the injury or what they say, in the next week or two, and go from there. The Virginia game, I'm just going to kind of go, who knows what can happen. I mean, they can be motivated by this and fight it out just because Virginia's offense isn't the greatest. But again, Virginia could embarrass Duke, hold them to 50 points or 40 points and beat them by 10. And 10 against Virginia is like 25 against any other team. That's pretty much where I'm at. I'm not on the they're completely out of it, but I'm not on the I'm confident. No. That's it. It's pretty late, so I'm gonna post this and then get some sleep. I would have chugged a bunch of coffee before this and been even more profane and up, like yelling about how mad I was. But I got to get up early, so I can't be doing that. Yeah, it's just kind of depressing. I don't know what should the title of this be? Something about a series of unfortunate events, I guess. That'll work. And I just hope that sitting out didn't kill Reddish's momentum. It's been really tough for him. You can tell, you can see the coaching staff, the players, and him they basically made it a priority to try to build his confidence up. He said after the game, like, everybody believed in me, and I just can't thank them enough. And I hope sitting this out didn't put him a step back, because we're gonna need him. Duke's gonna need him to step up if Tre's out. So that's it. You can let me know what you think. The other thing, Jim Boeheim, he peed his pants, and everybody kind of saw it at first and posted it, and then everybody said it's because he was a cancer survivor, and then people went and like made fun of or like ragged on people who posted it beforehand. That's just kind of fucked up. I doubt anybody was thinking about that. I didn't know that personally. I don't know the facts on everybody's life, so I didn't personally know that beforehand. I retweeted something or something like that. I unretweeted it when I found that out. But everyone just making it a point to reply to everyone who posted something about that and call him like a piece of shit and stuff. They probably didn't know. Shut the fuck up. Do you even care that it was wrong, or do you care that you're just trying to make yourself feel better? So, I hate Twitter. I just hate Twitter. I hate social media. I hate injuries. And I don't like Syracuse, and I don't fucking like UNC or their fans either. It's past midnight now, so insert the crying Jordan face on me and a Duke hoodie. And the Cowboys lost, and the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl again. Nobody wants that. Until next Saturday, go Duke. Peace out.